Alright, so last night I buffed this trunk lid. It was already in 600 mostly. I finished it off in 8, went to 12, 2, then 3. And gotta get it on the car and get the hood in here. Stripes are pretty flat. There might be some areas. It doesn't distort the light. I can't really tell. Anyway, they're pretty flat. I'm not concerned with them being totally flat, but they're pretty flat. Ideally, you'd re-clear it after the 600, just to get it more level. But anyway, pretty good. I'm happy with it. Good enough to go back onto the car and do the touch-up buffing it needs when I do the whole car and go over everything once this stupid booth's taken down. So anyway, let's get this on, shall we? No scratches. I didn't even lose the covers for the Ring Brothers hinges there. So that is a bonus. So there's that. So now I guess it's hood sanding time. I do have a trunk weather strip. I'm not gonna glue it in. That's on somebody else to do. I did install these little bumpers, so it does sit on those, and I do have the latch I can put in. So yeah, before I forget, I won't be able to put these on unless I might, if I remember. All we have for these is this. We don't have the light housing, so the way these bolt on, you need the other part. So, but I don't have to put those on. I can always wrap them in a towel and put them back in the box. I'm not gonna do it now. Do I have a trunk lock? I don't think. I might. I don't know. Anyways, these are all things I'm mentioning in case it's stuff I don't do that you need to do when assembling, which is all stuff that I don't know who's going to assemble it. So most people know, some don't. You got to file these out. You don't want to just take your lock cylinder and shove it in there, because then when the next time it comes out, it'll pull all the paint with it and chip the paint past where it covers. So on the trunk and the doors, you got to get little files, which I don't know if I have any here. And you got to file this all back out, and you can see how there's paint past. You got to file all that, file it all clean, and then retouch up the edges with epoxy or something so it doesn't rust. But yeah, you got to do that before you go putting stuff together. Same with the door handles. You have new door handles I bought, but I don't think I'm going to put them on. I mean, the longer this stuff stays off, the better. The longer the paint can cure before you go assembling and putting stuff on the car is the best way to go, since there's no reason to really put that stuff on there because the doors are shutting and latching. There's just no reason to do that yet. But yeah, you do have handles and you don't have locks. That's just a couple of things I've been thinking of. I may put the wheel lip trim on, even though I just said it's best not to do that stuff. That stuff can be kind of a pain in the ass. So as far as fitting it, because it's all aftermarket fender. Lower half of this fender is aftermarket. So that can be a challenge sometimes to force it into place and drill and screw it down. So I may put that on. But yeah, anyway. That is that for now. As you can see here, I have this completely masted off to avoid any overspray while I painted this panel back here. And we're not done buffing yet, so it doesn't matter. And I don't think it went that far anyway. Nope. So anyway, now that that's painted, I can go ahead and get compound and stuff on it when I finish buffing the car. Or I could possibly mask this area off so nothing gets in there. That's always a possibility. So anyway, let that dry. It's drying pretty fast because it's 80 degrees in here. It'll be a semi-gloss black when it's dry. Looks pretty good. Another thing off the list. Speaking of list, here's my list here. I had to crawl over here on the outside of the booth here to get to it. But we can cross off sand and buff the trunk, because even though it's not final polished, it's close enough to call that done. Left headlight bezel, did that. Paint rear package tray thing, just did that. Fixed trunk floor, that's next. Sand hood, paint hood. Can't cross those off. But we're running out of stuff on the list. I'll add more, but getting close. Quarter panel taillight bezels, not taillight bezels, side marker bezels are wrapped in microfibers and back in the box that they came in. So that'll be in the car somewhere. So I fixed this up, re-blacked over the areas that had turned milky. Where apparently I put the hood, thinking about the hood, because I just did my to-do list on what's left, and it mainly involved the hood. Anyway, re-blacked over that, re-splattered over those areas. I'm not going to clear it. It's just going to be like this. So don't fill the trunk with water, you should be fine. But even if you do, there's still stuff that is cleared over, so it'll probably be fine. Or just, get one of those trunk carpet kits, or have some custom carpet kit made, or do something. Just don't, wash in here. So the trunk latch and striker are installed. This may need to be moved. Usually when you put the trunk weather strip in, it takes a while for it to compress, and it's real hard to shut at first. But, so if you put it in and you can't shut the trunk, you may have to loosen up the striker, raise it up, or move this latch down in order to make it not shut as tight until the seal compresses. And then after a while you'll be able to move it back to where it's closed all the way. But hopefully, I think I had the seal in here testing it, so it should fit. But anyway, I went and got chrome bolts and washers for the latch, just because the stock bolts look like crap, and even new stock bolts are kind of crappy looking, so chrome gets you home. This, obviously I cleaned up some, still looks like an old crappy latch. I don't know if they make something better for that or not, probably not, so do with that what you will. But leave it like that, But the trunk shuts, and if it's tight, it doesn't ravel around, and that's all that matters. So the seal should just go in there and if it does fit tight, don't get in the habit of pushing down on here and trying to force the trunk to close and dent the trunk lid. On these, it's not so much of an issue because it's pretty strong right here, but Camaros, you can really screw them up. And then I went and got some bolts. What did I get those for? I got some new bolts for this, I think, because these are just old ones that I had. As long as I got the right ones. Which it looks like I did. I will throw these in. It looks like I... Yeah, I don't know why there's this hole. This is a threaded hole, but it doesn't go to anything. Is that supposed to be there just for fun? I don't know. You can always throw a bolt in it because I bought 6. Alright. Alright, new bolts in that. The only thing I couldn't find were the bolts that came with the clips for these brackets to hold the headlight bezel. They're too small. If you tighten them, they'll just keep stripping through the clip. They'll pop and they won't grab. I found 2 for the core support side. I don't have anything else. I couldn't find anything at the hardware store today for this side. So that, you may want to swap those out at some time for something that looks more like that. But if I can find some, I'll do it. If I forget, I won't. So anyway, there's that. Yeah, I guess that's that. It's time to start sanding the hood, I guess, which will be, it's only going to be in the 90s this week, I think, so should be a perfect time to come in here into this sauna and start sanding, I suppose. Alright, so I got black base on the hood. I got black base on the flap. Now I need to bolt this into the hood so I can lay out the stripes. Alright, so it's 1,100,000 hours later, and this is as far as I got. So it's after 10, I think, or close to 10. 9:58. I'm not going to bother. I still got to mask the centers of the stripes, sand the outsides, and base it. I'm not going to do that tonight. I'll just get back on this tomorrow. This always takes me way longer than it's supposed to. I don't know how long it's supposed to take, but it takes way longer than it should. Yeah, I can never seem to get them centered and have the stripes the same width. And the factory dimensions I can find for this doesn't even tell you what the width of the stripe is. It tells you how far off the edge of the hood crease that stripe is and how far off of the middle body line those stripes are. And that's all it tells you. So that theoretically should make the stripes the same width, but I kept having this stripe over that way too far on the inside. So anyway, I've got it where I think I'm going to leave it. It's within a 1/16 or so everywhere, and unless you tell me right now that there's something wrong, which I'm sure there is, but it's going to stay, I think. I don't know. Anyway, it'll be too late, because by the time you see this, it'll be painted. So it's the next morning, and I redid. There was something bugging me about these inner stripes. I just couldn't get the measurements the same, and I couldn't get the width. The width was narrow up here. It's supposed to be the same, but they don't give you the total width between the stripes. They give you the distance from the body line to the edge of this stripe, which is 1 11/16. So yeah, it's hard to measure off of a line that actually goes away once you get up there. So anyway, I got it all the same now, and for fun I took this stencil out that's unusable and just laid it back here, and it looks like the lighting is all weird in here. Anyways, stencil. What is going on with this camera? Are you seeing that? Maybe it's just the screen that's no good. As you can see, it fits. So these are 1/4 inch border stripes, and the factory, they're a weird size, they're not 1/4 inch, so from here, the rest of the stencil, these ones would end up being wider than what I have. But I just wanted to see if the main stripe was the right size. And it is, or it's close enough. So that's that. Now we'll sand this black and start putting the blue base on. Alright, so you don't know this, but I've done this twice. I painted the blue, I unmasked it, and these front corners did not turn out good. And then when I tried to touch them up, the blue was still soft, and I messed the blue up. So I sanded it, I redid the black, I let it dry for like 4 hours. I came back, I relayed out the stripes, I did the blue, now I unmasked it, and now it's good as it's gonna get, I will say. I'm not doing it again. It's not absolutely perfect. I always have problems on the corners where you have to cut the tape and do your 90s. The deck lid came out perfect for some reason, but I generally sometimes have issues getting it perfect with no bleed through on the sharp corners. And anyway, this is pretty good. It's going to be just fine. So this is ready to clear. I'm just debating whether I'm going to clear it now or wait till the morning. You have a 24-hour window on the base to clear. I did the black at about, I don't remember, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Let's call it 4 o'clock. So as long as I get up in the morning and clear it, I'll be fine. But I just, I mean, I'd like to do it now, but it takes a while to do 5 coats of clear, so not sure I want that to do that. It's already after 10. But anyway, you'll see it when it's shiny. Well, here you go. Here the lights off, so no bugs come in here. One landed in it over here, and the blue pinstripe part, I got it out. There might be a couple legs in there, but you don't really see them. Once again, that's part of painting in a garage in the middle of the night in the summer. Gonna have bugs. Actually, that was the only one. There was a little tiny one walking across the back here, but I was able to blow it off. That was before my last coat of clear even. But not too bad. Yeah, I'll show it to you, whenever. Tomorrow, after I sand it so you can't get a look at it, see all the dirt in it. No, that's not too bad actually. This piece. Got 2 of the fans running still, gonna let those run all night. We don't need another, when I did the fenders, I turned the fans off too early, I think, and my solvent popped. But, I don't know, it's pretty warm still. It's stringy, it's getting tacky. But, anyway, I'm gonna leave them run. Alright. Everything at this point should be painted. Well, wait, gotta do the bottom of the hood. Flat black still. Semi-gloss black, I mean. Alright, there she is. Next morning, let the fans run all night. She's dry. And yeah, it'll sand and buff just fine. The bugs, no more bugs. After I finished filming that last part last night, there was something else crawling right here. I dug it out and put a dab of clear in it. Flowed out pretty good. That'll block out with 600 just fine. And then the other one that happened here before that, I put a couple extra coats over that area. I think it'll be fine. I think it's gonna be fine. So anyway, what the plan is now is I will let this dry for a day or two, break it open to 600, flip it over, paint the bottom hot rod black, let that dry for a day or two, mask that up, flip it back over, and then, you know, finish sanding and buffing the top. So, getting close. Finally be able to take this stupid booth down and give it away, or burn it, or something. I'm not using it again. When I paint the T and we paint the 32 truck, I'll either just do it in the garage like I used to, or I will get one of those inflatable booths, because that's going to be like a one day deal, both of those. Whereas this, I knew I needed this up for a couple months to paint everything at separate times, and then I needed to be able to paint and not get overspray on the parts I painted already. So that's why I did this, and it worked out pretty good. But I don't plan on doing another big project like this, and when I paint my car, maybe I'll use the booth at work. But anyway, we sanded the hood, and we sanded the cowl flap, and we painted the hood. So now we just have to do the bottom of the hood, buff the hood, install the hood, go over the whole car again, and stuff like that. But that's it for this weekend. And it's Sunday, probably around 9:30 or so. But might work on the Mustang today. I've had control arms because it needs bushings and everything. I've had new control arms, lowering springs, strut hats, all that stuff has been in the trunk for like 2 months now. So I might put that stuff on. I need to figure out what's wrong with the 50 because it runs like crap. I think the carburetor's gunked up. And then it depends on what I'm taking to Good Guys this weekend. The Model A is good to go if I'm taking that. I don't know. Stuff to figure out.